Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Reflection, a joint program between Cambodian ASEAN International Institute and ThmeyThmey Media. Today we are delighted to have three speakers with us, and today we are going to discuss, is technology a help or a hindrance in education? And like I mentioned earlier, we have three speakers. First of all, we have Mr. ThmeyThmey. ThmeyThmey is an ESL teacher at Australian Center for Education. Second speaker, we have Mr. Ruansoperak. Ruansoperak now is a head of student affairs at Cambodia ASEAN International Institute. The third speaker, we have Mr. Wong Sraiwatana. Sraiwatana currently is a teacher and also an advisor to New Life Foundation. And thank you all of you for coming today, and we are honored to have you all to discuss a very important topic. Like I mentioned moments ago, we are going to discuss technology roles in education. And I just give you a brief introduction on the topic. Actually, technology has become a part of our life, and classroom, you can see, are packed with technology. And most of young people now, they're growing up with digital technology as well. You can imagine they have full access of internet for 24 hours, I mean most of them. And some are carrying tablets and phones and all devices like computers, so on and so forth. So their life are full of technology. But it actually that they have some advantages when it comes to technology usage in classroom. But we still have seen that many people are trying to argue that there are many potential benefits of technology in education rather than risks and consequences. But we might have questions regarding this, and we would like to hear from you what your argument, or whether you support technology in education or you are against it. First of all, my question will be, how has technology changed the way of student learning in general, and also in Cambodia in particular? And any one of you want to answer this question?
Well, so let me begin my answer first. Okay, first of all, thank you for having me, and thanks for your question. Actually, for Cambodian students nowadays, they have learned in different contexts. In the past, they learned through traditional learning styles, but nowadays they live with modern society. They use technologies in their classroom. Let me give you one example of using personal phone, okay, cell phone. Actually, in the past, we have nothing to research. For example, we just learn through our teachers. But these days, we can research it by ourselves. The students can study with the teachers in the class, and also the students can do their personal research at home or at anywhere they want, because nowadays we have fully internet access for that. So, but the thing is, for students in the developed area or in Phnom Penh City, they are good at technology. But for some students, they are from the rural area. They don't have much knowledge about technology. So it is the difference between areas of education.
Very interesting. You also mentioned about the gap between those in rural area and also but we will discuss it after this. And I just want to ask Watana, because you are a teacher and you've been involved with this for quite some time, and I just want to know, as educator, how it changed the way of teaching and how it helped you doing your work.
Well, I see technology is human-made. It just, to me, technology is something that makes life easier. As a teacher, I can see a few benefits to me. For example, if you have like 450 students and you have tests for them, and if you do like a paper base, it takes a lot of time, to mark and all of that. But if you use technology, by technology here I mean computer with all the application, like for the student to sit down and work on it, and then everything will automatically appraise. Their scores are appraised. They can see result almost at their distant time, So I see that as quite convenient, and preparing slide with very kind of interesting pictures and making sound, and I don't have to redo it again if I have my soft copy in computers and I can show it. And I know the new generation likes something new, something that not like old date, but they want something more like an update. So if I have something that, for example, with the TV screen, I can just hook it up with the world news or any movies, something that kind of catch the eye-catching is what I'm saying, you know. So yeah, I see it as long as you know how to really harness, like get benefits of it, it's really helpful with technology.
I have been so optimistic about how technology is helping you do your works. But he raised all benefits and advantages of technology. But do you agree with him? Do you see any side effects or some consequences that could make you more difficult in doing your works when it comes to the rise of technology?
All right. First of all, thanks for having me here. And I actually agree with what he said. He said that technology help you plan the lessons because it's a matter of, in the classroom, it's a matter of lesson plan. If you plan the lesson well, it just go well. But if you plan the lesson not well, it doesn't go the way you expected. However, technology will not only help you, but sometimes we get distracted by technology. Let's say, for example, you plan the lesson really well, but you get into the classroom, and then that does not work. The technology doesn't work. Can be the slide projectors or anything. You lost the files and technology, electricity, so on. So as an educator myself, I found technology can be distractive. Yeah, can be distractive. But on top of that, technology might get the student feels like more relaxed sometimes. That's also like it's not really helpful sometimes, right? Let me raise one example. Like my class, my students, they get really dependent on the technology, right? Some of them cannot even spell the word correctly because they only use technology to help them. Some teachers, for example, they only use like what brother said. You have the soft copy, you don't have to do it again. But sometimes the soft copy might not work in the next few years and so on. So it can also be the problem as well.
But so he's a teacher and also you're a teacher as well. And Wadana also a teacher. But he talked about distraction. So do you think that students are getting getting lazier by using technology or not?
Actually, it depends on the individual student for that. And to me, importantly, the teacher plays the most important role in using technology in classroom, and technology does make students lazier. I agree with that, but again, it depends. It depends on the individual student, and the teacher can guide. For example, if the teacher teaches interestingly, the student will focus more in classroom rather than focus on their phone, using phone in classroom. Okay, for that, and from the encouragement from the parents as well. Okay, the parents plays the most important role in children education. So to sum up again, for technology makes students lazier, I would say I agree sometimes, but sometimes I disagree with that.
What is your message? I mean, how to have students make sure they will not be lazier, or how to prevent distraction when it comes to using social media or technology? Because I myself, not only as a normal student, but we just do our work a little bit, and after that check our phone, and after that we do our work again, and then after that check our phone, back and forth. So it actually consumes a lot of time. So how to help them?
So I already mentioned about teachers' role and parents' role. To me, for students, they don't know, they are too young. They don't understand much about the society, about their future. They just let's say focus on their happiness in the present. So to help them focus more in the study rather than just using technology for fun. Okay, so there are some interesting apps for students to learn. Also, for example, let me give you one example of Kahoot. Okay, students, we have Kahoot teaching. Okay, they use phone technology in classroom, but also it is fun. Okay, the students can practice their homework, their learning styles, many other things in Kahoot. So again, I think for motivational students to learn, we everyone are educators. We are the role. We are the one to be responsible for that. And for personal motivation, the students, so should be given more guidance.
Interesting. Back to you again, Watana, because you are so optimistic about technology, but there are research currently saying that many students are not able to do their works and were not able to do their study effectively because of now the e-book replace the normal books, the physical books. Do you agree that physical books and e-books have different effects, on student study behavior?
Well, I was thinking about, the topic. I'm very interested into this. Right after the industrial evolution and then we're coming to information age, which is everybody depend on a lot of information, and then we come to the technology. And to me, I see the difference between, for example, if you say medicine and drug, what are the difference? So what is drug and what is medicine? So if you look at what they are, all medicine are drugs, but not all drugs are medicine. So now you look at technology and social media. So social media is just part of the technology. So it depends on how we use it, depend on what we use it for. So now when it comes to ebooks, I would say between the physical books and ebooks, it serves almost the same purpose for people reading. And it's important, it's the food for your mind, when you read, right? But what is it that really hinder people from gaining from reading? I would say it's the pop-ups. The world is a busy world, and every second you can hear something pop up, right? So if you read like ebook readers, I don't know what you use it here, whether it's phone or tablet or, when you read that, the problem is if you read it offline, it's fine. But what if you read it when you are online? And you read and then it comes to something that you learn and something, boom. Now here's a problem. Are you going to stop what you read and focus on your message or what? But it is different from physical book. When you read, nothing pop up unless somebody throw like a pen on you, But if you read a book, you just feel like your hands with the book. Nothing pop up on the book. But if you read on your tablet or the screen, just to let you know, there was something popping up everywhere, So I see it as more like, I also see something like, there's a difference between technological education and educational technology. So people just need education. People just need discipline when it comes to holding their technology.
So it depends on the device you're using.
The device you use and whether you are connected, what's around you that's gonna, come and distract you. Yeah.
Probably how you use it as well, like what he said. How you use it, right?
How to use it, yeah.
We talk a lot about how technology can distract students from what they're doing, but can technology empower them or make them more creative?
Well, such a very good question. How can technology empower the students and make them creative? Personally, I believe the technology will help them be more creative. Because technology help them become more personalized. Say you give them a project, you let them go wild, go to the internet, go search what you like. Students can be like, they can do what they want, they learn the way they want to learn. So they learn best, as what we know. And as I know, technology will help them be more creative because they open their eyes. They don't only see the classroom, right? If I give a kid, okay, now draw a book, they just draw a book. But if I ask them, now draw what you like, so they just like their mind is just broken up. Okay, so if they go to the internet, it helps them, empowering them in some ways, like, and get inspired. They get inspired by other people's works. And as we know, technology brings the world to your hand. And that's what technology is. So it helps us in many ways. But however, if like you have to you have to know what you're doing, right? Okay, discipline yourself. And the students, for young kids, they are not responsible for their work fully. So as an educator, we need to help them.
And I think we are going to have a 15-minute breaks before we're moving to the how we are going to address the gap between those who have technology and those who are not able to afford, to access to technology. And as educator, you might have something to give and something to offer. So thank you all of you.
Hindrance ក៏អាចអានព័ត៌មានថ្មីៗបានដែរ
Welcome back to the reflection. This part we will focus more on how technology creates a gap between those who have access to technology and those who not afford to access to it, technology, and also the future of technology in our education. Let me ask Superior, because you mentioned about the gap. How do you see the current technology gaps in our classroom?
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me talk about using technology in classroom for students in the city and also for university students. They have fully access to technology, the internet also. But for mostly, let me say something about my personal opinion. Students from in high school from the provinces, they are able to afford technology using mobile phone or computer or internet. But the thing is, they are not aware of how to use that. They don't know how to use technology. For example, honestly, when I was in high school, I didn't know how to use presentation slide. Okay, so I had a computer, I had a smartphone, but I don't know how to do that. Okay, not many schools teaching how to use technology. So what I learned was from my relatives in Phnom Penh city. So it is two factors. There are two factors. One is students are not able to afford technologies, and the second one is they don't know how to use that.
Problem have two.
Yes,
First,
two.
They have it, but they don't know how to use it.
Yes.
And another one are not able to access to it at all.
Okay.
So what next? Do you agree with Superior?
I agree part of, honestly speaking, of the where he's mentioned the having the technology, not able to use it. When you give something to someone, you teach them how to use it. It's they know how to use it, but maybe they are not well educated about using it. They are not educated. For example, you have a son and you give them a tablet and teach them how to use a tablet. Of course, they know how to use a tablet. They can turn it on, they play, but if you don't educate them the right time to use it, what to use, what not to use, that I see it more of an education. It's not just a teaching, I see it as an education. So the gap I can see, yes, we still, it's a challenge for some institutional centers, when kids cannot access the tools. Technology is a product from the developed world, and it's bring into developing world, and sometimes we see some challenges, and I don't see like a big of a like an obstacle for people, especially in the city, to access the tool, the technology. But it is a challenge, usually with the remote areas when people don't have all of these things. So I can see it's not, to me, the bigger issue is not whether or not they have it. To me, it's more like whether or not they know what they have, or they know how to use what they have, or they know they have enough education to really benefits of what they have. If you look at how expensive it is right now, for the last 10 or 15 years, now everyone can have their cell phone, right? They can use smartphone, turn from simple phone to smartphone, but again, it's all about how do we really benefit of it. And that to me is data and information. You know, because I have a background with the degree in computer, I see what is the data and what is information. So sometimes data is something you don't understand. But when you turn it into information, it becoming useful. So you have a technology, but you don't know how to use it. It may be just your data. But when you can turn it to something that benefits your life, help you study, help your business, then it becoming more of like your information. So
interesting. But can you, just a follow-up question? Okay. Can you give us some sort of idea how to make sure that we can address this problem? You raised some points, but I just want to hear from you more. I would call it inequality because we see it in rural area where people sometimes some students are not able to afford. Of course, this because we are a developing country. So what is your suggestion in order to address the problem?
I read something about the adoption of technology to help kids for reading in a rural area, and the ratio between teacher and student like 46:1. So to me, it's to help with addressing the gap. I think there needs to be some kind of engagement between the government and the relevant groups, you know, to whether or not they believe in using the technology. I still see the resources as still out there available. I don't see people cannot have something that they need. They know what they need. Maybe there's resources available, but maybe people don't come into the full agreement together. Different group maybe believe in different things, you know. So my suggestion is it's more of all the stakeholders coming together, you know, policymakers and NGO partners coming together and put all the resources to help those that really need it. So that's what I can suggest.
Oh, okay, interesting. Minute? Yeah. Because we already talked about inequality in technology, and now we see it as a problem that needs to be addressed. But do you think that it's going to get bigger in terms of gap in technology, when the technology keep rising over time, and then those people, because I just try to say that it is large inequality in our society. So it's getting bigger, the rich getting richer, the poor getting poorer. So it just one a service that need to the demand of people. So do you see that the problem will be narrowed down, or it will be widened?
All right, so actually technology is advancing every day. The world is evolving, and if we don't take into considerations, just grow. It will grow, and no one can stop that though. Yeah, and as brothers have said, if we take it for granted, it's grow and the gap will get bigger. So what we can do is to probably people who have more, or the institutions that have more influence on it, like education system of the country, the government as a whole, right? Okay, include everything in the education, because we believe that education will change the society. So if we believe, if we do that, we hope, okay, to bring back the equality, but not only the equality, the equity as well. Yeah, poor people can get the same thing, but they probably are not in the same level. Yeah? They have to get something more. Like say, you give them $100 each of them, but these people only they already have $500, right? But this person only have 100, so in total they only have 200 here. So not only equality should be implemented, equity should also be considered, right, by the government, yeah, or education institutions.
Okay, yeah. So everyone will need to take this into consideration. NGO or civil society and the government, so on and so forth. Let me go back again to Superior, because we talk about the gaps in education, of course, and we also raise some idea how to address this problem maybe in the upcoming year. But move back to your role as an educator, how do you see the future of education? I mean, when it comes to the evolvement of technology in the next 10 years or at least 5 years from now, because we talk about digital things most of all, and first of all, the fourth industrial revolution, the artificial intelligence, so classroom will be equipped with many things that we are not aware of it. So you will see it in the next 5 or 10 years. So are you prepared to do it, or how you see the change?
Well, thank you for your question. Actually, as you said, that our technology keeps advancing, and I believe that for education sector, students will face more and more of their opportunities in improving their ability in learning. To me, for education, when we will not only talk about technology, but because the topic today is about technology, so I still believe that students will be more creative. Let me give you one example. Sometimes students know more than the teacher. I have to agree with that, even I myself, because they do their personal exploration, their personal research. So to me, the teachers should improve their, keep updating themselves, their ability, their not just follow the traditional style. Okay, so for education again, in technology, students will be, let's say, a lot better and better.
Again, for that, I also see some problem coming out from the evolvement of technology. Not only me as a journalist, not only you as teacher, but everyone need to embrace ourselves, to challenge with it. Robot will replace our works. Do you think that robot will replace your works?
Well, I know the technology with AI, artificial intelligence, and all of the machines, and there's even movies that says the machine will control the human being. But you have to understand that the machine are made by human being. But people, when it comes to the creation of AI, they are afraid that AI can make a decision, you know, all of that. But to me, it can be a concerning to people that, oh, the machine will control me. But to me, it's more like, how do you upgrade yourself? How do you change? How do you want to develop yourself? You know, I see it as good competition, you know, for people to think about changing yourself. You know, if you don't change, something will, you know, or affect you. You know, for example, if I'm just a normal engineer and I use only one thing, but in the next 3 or 5 years, there's something more technology is going to replace me. Of course, if I keep, I say old school, you know, but you got to change. You got to learn something new, you know. So to me, it's not just a concern about something will replace, but it will be something more that you just have to make a decision and to really catch up with what's the new latest technological products that will be created. But just make sure you don't keep old. It's just you know, going to catch up with things that are created, especially technology that come to use for you. But I'm not that concerned about the technology or machine will control you.
Will be replacing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just, because it's not coming in 5 years or 10 years, maybe in 50 years more. Yeah. I'm not so sure, but yeah, let's see. Minute. Yes. I think now we already have some kind of prediction from Sopiria, and also Bong Watana. He also is not afraid of technology and also the robots, the rise of the robotics, something like that. But what about you? Are you prepared to use technology and broaden your ways of instruction or teaching in the classroom?
Well, I see a lot of people are being very scared about technology. Personally, I don't see technology as a threat. Yeah, I see technology as an opportunity. Yeah, like what brothers have said, we have to upgrade ourselves. Now, you give an iPhone 3 to a kid, they don't even take it probably. Yeah, so you gotta update yourself, right? Okay, I see in the classroom, maybe in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, we only use technology. We use technology. So I don't say we throw away our books, but we use technology more, okay, because it helps us in many ways. See, education in the last few decades, look what they have, right? Okay, I know they learned, but what we do now, we learn better. Yeah, we learn better. We have a lot of information, data, and so on. So what I believe that if you keep updating yourself, you have to know where you stand. Yeah, you're an educator, you gotta move, or at least you gotta step one step ahead, okay, of what you're doing. Okay, if you stay the same, like what you said, somebody's gonna replace you. Yeah.
Let me go back again to Sophia. He kept mentioning, and Watana also mentioning, you have to update yourself, but in what way, we're not sure. Can you just tell us what kind of skill and how to update ourselves, responding to the technology that's coming to be used by us in the classroom? How to prepare ourselves, especially what kind of skill we need in a classroom to cope with this technology rise.
Thank you. First, let's talk about educational app. Before, the student at university or in high school, they just use their presentation slide for that study. But additionally, nowadays the educators has created many educational apps that students can install in their phone. So I already mentioned about Kahoot. Kahoot is now famous for teachers to use in classroom because number one is it's funny, and number two it is interesting. So the student can learn with fun. So for teachers, they should update themselves with new technologies, apps. They keep researching. The teachers, all teachers cannot just stay the same using a traditional style of teaching. So again, for the second thing is that the teacher should know the trends of students nowadays. Okay, what is the trend? What is better for what makes students learn better? Okay, that's it. Okay, so two things. Number one, the teacher should update themselves with technologies, apps, and also the second thing is teachers should know the trend of students nowadays.
As we're running out of time, I think each of you will have like approximately 1 minute each to share or to have a message to all our audiences, especially students in school, how to use technology effectively to prevent the distraction. Because we already discussed, but maybe you have some final message to them. Each of you will have 1 minute. From Watana first.
Okay, I think my message is for both the one who use technology and also the one who benefits to educators. To me, is the technological education is the education to use to make sure you use know how to use it, how to benefit from it. Educational technology. It's when you use technology to benefit in your education. I just want to encourage, especially the younger generation, to improve their language skill and technical skills, because knowing how to playing with all the features of a program software, and I usually see English with even Khmer language. Sometimes it doesn't. It helps, but if you know English, especially the technical terms, it helps you to kind of do more research, to really get a better upper hands on technology. So again, just not just the knowledge to use technology, but the wisdom to use technology. Yeah.
Okay, so
to me, maybe my message is that students nowadays, they just don't follow the teacher. For my recommendation for students, they should do their personal research. For example, if you're really interested in taking IELTS, we not just go to the class and talk about IELTS with the teacher. We need to watch videos, tips how to get higher score in IELTS or so forth. But the thing is, for high school students, they want to improve for example, they have time, they want to improve their mathematics skills, how to solve math problems. They need to use English. When they know English, and then so that they can go to the Google and then search to learn by themselves.
Stop depending on your teacher.
No,
Okay, but
teacher is still
just
the most
kidding.
important, yeah.
Okay,
It's not like the teaching. It's not like the teachers will just decreasing, but actually the message for me to the learners that you don't only learn from the teachers. You don't only learn from the books. You don't only learn in the classroom. You have technology now in your hand. Go there and grab the stars you want. Yeah, okay, how many stars you want? Go there and grab it. You can do it. And the problem is that you don't only know you have it. Okay, you have to be aware of the advantages and the disadvantages of it, how you benefit from it.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally we have come to the end part of our discussion. I would like to thank all the three speakers for coming here today, for giving a very insightful and interesting idea on how to prevent distraction and also how to address the technological gaps in education as well, especially in our society. And also to our audiences for your continuous support of our program. If you have any question or want to get more information on our program, please like our Facebook page, The Reflection, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, ThmeyThmey Media. Thank you.
Welcome to Cam-ASEAN. This is a wonderful school for you to master your business English skills as well as your professional skills. Cam-ASEAN has well-appointed classrooms, also a student lounge and a language lab. The language lab is wonderful for them to improve by themselves their English abilities. We have a wonderful conference hall where we host many activities.
I am Sunny. I studied Business English and Skills at Cam-ASEAN and I'm ready for the ASEAN integration. So why wait? Come and join us now.
ចង់សិក្សាភាសាអង់គ្លេសនិងជំនាញសិក្សានៅ Cam-ASEAN